Alrighty. Good afternoon, Ken. This is Danielle at Ronstadt, and I'm going to record a portion of this interview. Thank you for allowing me to do so. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is just pass the torch on over to you and allow you to tell me a little bit about your purchasing experience. Why don't we kind of start at the beginning and then go to current?
Sure. So I have about 20 years procurement experience. I have extensive work with, RFQs and RFPs, ITBs, IFBs, what have you. I deal a lot with the PO, supplier management, cost analysis, things of that nature. I started my supply chain career, if you will, working for TVA, the Tennessee Valley Authority. I was there for about 7 years or so, and then once we moved back to Florida, I went to work for Seminole County Fire Department as their procurement and logistics technician coordinator. I worked for Orange County government as their procurement coordinator, and then I really got into the thick of it when I went over to the school board of Seminole County, where I went from procurement agent 1, 2, and 3. And then I kind of got stuck because nobody was leaving, and there was no more room to grow, if you will. And then I was offered a position with Volusia County Schools as their procurement supervisor, and I went over there for the last about a year, and just managed a team of about 7 buyers, day-to-day operations, things of that nature, board agenda items, the full gamut. So that's in short, my procurement experience. Prior to that, if you'd like to know about prior to that,
Go ahead.
I was in law enforcement in Florida and in Tennessee, and that's pretty much it. Those are my careers: law enforcement and then procurement.
So, why the change from law enforcement to procurement?
Children, kids, family. Things change, priorities change, and I kind of missed working, I kind of not missed it, but hated working holidays, or, it seemed like all the time we're missing events and things of that nature, especially with little ones. So just finally felt that it was time for a career change. So.
Yeah, I completely understand that. We did that too when my daughter was young. So, definitely. It's important to have a consistent schedule, which of course, the position that I'm hiring for is going to be just that consistent schedule. So now, when you were purchasing for, government, if you will, like the school district, what type of products were you purchasing?
I mean, pretty much you name it, I did it. It could go from books. Software, I was very big into the IT stuff. No one really liked to deal with that. I kind of did. So I did a lot of the IT software purchases. I've done things from purchasing books to all the way up to purchasing a test and simulator plane for Seminole County schools. And everything in between I've done for, solicitations for services for electricians, HVAC, things of that nature. But pretty much, with the school, I mean, you're dealing not only with, products for the kids and what they need at the schools themselves, but there's also buildings to maintain, so you're putting out solicitations for, like I said, services for HVAC, electrical maintenance, things of that nature. So really, if you name it, I probably have had my hand in it one way or the other.
Sure. We talked a little bit about electrical, like in electrical products, and you said you had experience with that. Where was that the most, which job would you feel would have that closest connection to that?
I mean, really both, more so probably Seminole. I would, because in Seminole I was doing, my own bids and solicitations. When I went over to Volusia, I was more managing the staff doing that. There was a few that I would issue on my own, but for the meat of it, it would have been over at Seminole.
Okay, perfect. Let's see here. And you are available, you said, beginning of the year. to get started. And you're local to Volusia County. You're in DeBerry.
Correct. Yeah, I'm 20 minutes away or so from DeLand. You know,
Okay, perfect.
not exactly sure where this position is located, but I mean it's local, so that's good.
Okay, great. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop this part of the interview, but don't go anywhere. We got a few more things to chat about, so it's not going to disconnect, but it's going to stop recording.